What's up, YouTube? This is Dibs here. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I know I was tired earlier when I did the news update, but I went to do my workout, and oh, this is a little tight. There we go. I went to do my workout with my personal trainer. Her name's Michaela, and she's like 5'2", and she's the devil. She pushes me super hard, which is what I paid for. But she's got like this listen voice, but man, I told her the first day, she's like, "Oh, I'll be nice." And I said, "No, don't be nice, because like I'm paying for it. So like push me." And I think she took that a little too literally. So I did some pre-workout for the first time. I did C4, a little C4 stuff. I drank like half the bottle, but probably won't sleep tonight. So I have some energy in the tank. Um, and so I decided, since the U.S. presidents, sorry, since the U.S. presidents did so well, and I did two Naruto ones, which are kind of funny. I'm gonna do world leaders today on this tier maker list, and it's a lot, so I'm hoping the pre-workout sticks with me. Um, I'll be drinking protein, some water, got my snacks ready, and an edible for later. I'm not gonna take the edible yet because it's just like a CBD edible from Colorado, though. I'm not gonna take it yet because then I won't finish the list. But near the end, I'm gonna take it. And I'll be like kind of be like my good night pill. But yeah, before I get into this, just showing you the progress. Getting some gains there. Did shoulders today, pretty solid. Let me pretty good. Um, so yeah, before I'm gonna use all my brain power. All right, let me go ahead, start this baby up. We'll be here for at least probably an hour, hour and a half. I don't know. The president's one, I knew a lot of knowledge, so and I'll still elaborate like whenever I know the individual and the background, I'll still do it, especially with U.S. presidents. But for a lot of them, I'll probably be using Chat GPT as like my little helper. I'll do pros, cons, and then just like a quick overview, and you'll see. I'll pull it up, and it'll be nice. Um, but yeah, let's get it. Oh yeah, and my background. So it's U.S. history, pre World War One. I'm pretty good with modern presidents as well. When it comes to internationally, I have a good background in European to an extent. European history is taught a lot in the U.S., and so there's people who are going to know a lot more than me. Like I'm not vlogging through history over here. That dude is like legit. I studied it. I keep up with it on my YouTube, but I've been out of the game for out of college at least for like 6 or 7 years. Kind of wasted to me. I was a horrible student, but history is always something I've been passionate about. I could see myself if my financials get good, stay good. I could see myself being like a teacher for retirement. Should be fun, like middle school, high school, maybe even a professor. That'd be cool. Who knows? Who knows how the life will go? But and then I know Russian history, a little bit of Chinese history, um, a little bit of South American history. The one I don't know, I'll just be straight up, is Middle East. I took a Middle Eastern class, and um, this lady was so intense. It was the second day, and she said, "You have a 17-page paper due in a week and a half." And then she just went right into the lecture, and this was before I got kicked out. I got kicked out and had to go back to finish. Um, but I said, "No, hell no." So I dropped that class on like the second day. So I don't know anything about Middle Eastern history. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let me go ahead and get it pulled up, and we'll be good to go. Make sure you can see my screen. Can use all my brain power here. So this is the list. It's a lot of people. Again, I don't know if it'll be as long as the presidents. It might be. It probably will. This could be a 2-hour stream, an hour at least. But we'll get through it as much as we can. So the tiers we got. Let me go ahead and get some water before I just start going for it. That pre-workout is insane, man. All right. So let me get in my zone. The tiers we got here, we got God Among Men. Oh, and just for my list in general, with the exception of the Naruto fights, because Naruto fights are there's a lot of good ones. I'll be very sparing with the top and bottom. One of my comments on the presidents was, it's like a natural bell curve, and that's how it should be. Most tier lists should be like that. There's not a lot of gods among men, and there's not a lot of kleptocrat. I don't even know what that means. I kind of do. I looked it up beforehand, but I mean, let's be real. Most of everyone's average. Most of us are average to some extent. So that's where it's going to be. So kind of go through the tiers. We got Chat GBT, my helper. It's always nice to have something infinitely more smarter than you. And we got Google for anything else. So the tiers we got. All right. We got God Among Men, the ideal, an era of prosperity, real politic. Not gonna lie, I don't know what this really means, but it's in between an era of prosperity and tried but fell a little short. So we'll put this SSSAB. So it's like a B tier. Tried but fell a little short. Got stuff done, but was it good stuff? There's gonna be a lot in that. If you study history, there's a ton of that. They got stuff done, but was it good for the time? Was it good in the long run? There's a lot there. More harm than good. There'll be a lot there. Buffoon of a leader. All right. Destroyed the nation, and then kleptocrat. So let's look up kleptocrat just so I have it for reference, especially since it's at the very bottom. Ruler who uses political power to steal his or her country's resources. Yeah, but to like what extent? Like, let's look up a little bit. Oh, okay. All right, let's not do that. Where was I like the simple ones? We got that. Here we go. First to a government so corrupt that there remains no pretense of honesty. Okay, so it's like it's the lowest of the low, which I guess I should have realized. But all right, let's get into it. So first one we got Nelson Mandela. And then just for ChatGPT, for the ones I don't know, I know a little bit about Nelson Mandela, but not as much as like U.S. presidents. I'll do. Give me a brief breakdown of the following historical leader, and that's key here. So one of the things I'm going to have to kind of reference, like let me go ahead and exit presentation mode, is we're talking about leaders. So a lot of them may have not been best people, but if they were a good leader, they're going to get some bonus points there. Um, and there and one thing you'll learn, like I've learned this a little bit, but I know a lot of people know this more than I do, is loan. Try to think of the right way to put it. To be the number one at something, to be a leader, to take charge, you take on all the responsibility, good and bad. And how you get to the top is usually through some, you know, it's gritty, man. It's gritty to get to the top. So let's go ahead and get into it. Chat GBT, yeah, let me get back to that. Give me a brief breakdown of the following historical leader with pros, cons, and a summary. Yeah, and then let's just see what it says. Again, I know a little bit about Mandela, but we'll go ahead and get this going. So, got dark mode today. Nelson Mandela. All right, yeah, this is a lot. I'm gonna break it down. Give me a shorter summary. And again, this is mainly getting the template. So for the ones I don't know, I can just kind of go with them fast. Give me a shorter Give me a shorter summary and conclusion. Actually, the conclusion's good. Summary and only 4 pros, and we'll do 3 cons. 3. Actually, no, we'll keep it with 5 and 3. That's pretty good. Honestly, the Chat GBT may change it up. Okay, all right. So, what the heck? It gave me a longer summary. All right, we're just gonna go into it. So Nelson Mandela, he was South African anti-apartheid revolutionary political leader and philanthropist. He served as president of South Africa from 94 to 99, being the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. His presidency marked the end of a decade of institutionalized racial segregation. Yeah, that's big. That is huge. And oppression under apartheid. Apartheid was a huge deal in Africa. It was pretty much a strict class system. It's bad. Yeah, yeah, this is too much. Give me a shorter pros and cons list while including the brief summary. You got to be specific. It's like asking a genie. It'll give you everything, man. All right, here we go. That's more like it. There we go. There's cons for Nelson Mandela. All right. So Yeah, he lived about 100 years almost. Was pivotal South African anti-party revolutionary. Became the country's first black president. Oh, I didn't know that. From 94 to 99. Known for his relentless fight against race segregation, he spent 27 years in prison. That is huge. Um, it's crazy. A lot of people, if you ever heard the Mandela effect, they think he died, and he didn't die for a long time. And they thought he died in like the 90s. That's where it came from. Spent 27 years in prison, leading South Africa through a peaceful transition. Peaceful. That's important. To democracy. Mandela's effect in promoting racial reconciliation and his legacy as a global icon, widely celebrated. All right, let's get the pros and cons. I don't know if I'll read the full summary each time, but we'll keep it as is for now. Anti-apartheid, that's going to be huge. Reconciliation, democratic transition, global icon. That's true. He did inspire all around the world. Violent tactics, early support for armed resistance. Huh. Economic challenges, face issues of unemployment, poverty. I mean, whenever you make such a radical change, that's going to happen. Social inequalities, struggle to fully address disparities in health and education system. All right, let's rank on. This is going to be hard. We're going to put him in the ideal. The ideal. He could honestly be a god amongst men, but this is hard because I think because he was peaceful, that's going to because a god amongst men also includes power. You know, to be a god, you have to have power like a god. And Nelson Mandela, while he is one of the most influential figures of all time, I don't think he had that the power to inspire fear. Um, which I respect. Like Gandhi, for example. I know Gandhi's going to be on here. There he is. You know, Gandhi was a little weird though. Well, this I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it. We're gonna put that deal for now. I don't got all day. Abraham Lincoln. I don't need to look him up. Mm, the God amongst men is going to be hard for me because there's so many. There's so many. Oh, it's going to be a long stream. Hmm. Hmm. All right, we're going to put him in the ideal as well. It's not an era of prosperity, that's for sure. But he did unite the United States during the Civil War, which no one else could do. Also, he did do some unconstitutional things during the Civil War, which it was probably necessary. I don't blame him, but yeah, the God amongst men. I'm going to come back to that again. These two, I'm going to be very selective, and we'll come back. JFK. Oh, oh, this one's funny. Yeah, we're gonna put real politic. He wasn't a perfect president, and he was assassinated. And the '60s were a wild time. It was not perfect. If I remember right, well, let's see. What about JFK? All right, here we go. Yeah, I don't need to do this. Yeah, Cuban Missile Crisis. He gets a lot of props for that. Personal scandals. Yeah, he slept with Marilyn Monroe. That bumps him up in my book. Cold War tensions and Bay of Pigs. The failed invasion of Cuba was a significant setback. So he wasn't a god amongst men. Um, hmm. Let's ask: was it an era of prosperity? It's often associated with a period of optimism and prosperity. Yeah, give me a lot. Yeah, Cold War, income inequality, and Bay of Pigs. We're gonna put an era of prosperity, and also he got assassinated. That's gonna give him props. RFK tried to fell a little short. A lot of that's because he was assassinated, but also he struggled with Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson and him were like rivals, and they both respected each other, but it was tough, man. It was tough. Also, he'll always kind of be in his brother's shadow. That's I'm gonna put these glasses on. That's inevitable. So we'll keep him at tried, but fell a little short. His son though, his son's running, and I don't think he's gonna win. Unfortunately, I would like him to, but it's nice having a third party that's a realistic candidate. It would be it would be awesome to kind of throw a wrench in the two-party system. Ooh, these history ones I'm not going to do a lot. This is going to be the last history one for a while because these take a lot of effort. Benjamin Franklin. Okay, so I did my thesis on Franklin, so I am gonna have some bias here. But Austin Franklin was a badass. He uh he invented electricity. I call him the secret weapon of the American Revolution. George Washington is number one. He's Big Daddy G, but Franklin was probably our number two for winning against the British. So a couple things there. I'm gonna go into Franklin a little bit because I know a lot about Franklin. It's fun. He was already kind of like a rock star when the American Revolution happened. Like he was already like a world celebrity. Um, there's a singer, not a singer, a guitarist in a band right now. He's a guitarist in an old 80s or 90s band, but he's also a renowned astrophysicist, physicist. So imagine that, and then winning a revolution with someone like that, and that's Franklin. He was funny too. He wrote a a how-to guidebook on how to pick the right cougar. So he gave like a step-by-step detailed plan about how to approach, how to select, and how to maintain the right older woman because older women were more appreciative in bed. So Franklin was wild, man. But also he's the ultimate statesman. Um, he did the probably one of the best sales and diplomatic moves ever, which is overthrowing a monarchy to a monarchy. It was one of the first times it's ever been done. We got support from the French to overthrow the British, and then the French Revolution happened 8 years later. One last he wasn't perfect. He was not a good family man. Like he was not the best family man. But one of my favorite stories is when we won the American Revolution. He's still loved in France. Like he was loved. I think it was wild. And one of the things they did is when we won, there was 100 women lined up who gave him a flower and a kiss on the cheek, one after another, because that's how much they loved him. I could talk about Franklin for another 10 minutes, but I'll give you one last story. Uh, when he got to France to get support, the king and the royalty wouldn't let him see him. And so what did he do? He slept and partied with the richest people and all the elites of France of until and like he made sure it was like a show. He put on the raccoon hat, kind of the skunk hat, the raccoon hat that was famous, and they loved him for it. And he partied with them so much that it's kind of inevitable for the French royalty to uh, um, to meet with them. And then it was a slow sail. Like John Adams came and tried to rush it, but it was a slow sail. But eventually, he did get the support after the Battle of Saratoga. So for that, I'm biased. We're gonna put him at a god among men. I mean, he's on the $100 bill. He's Franklin. It's why we call it the bringing them Benjamins. So I'm putting him right there. Pretty sure this is Castro. So Fidel Castro. Yeah, that's Castro. What about Fidel Castro? Give the same breakdown as the answer before this. All right. So let's see. Brief summary: Cuban revolutionary and politician who served as prime minister of Cuba for about 17 years, and then another president for another damn near 32. Um, he was a central figure in the Cuban Revolution, which overthrew the Batista dictatorship and established a one-party socialist state under the Communist Party of Cuba. His role significantly influenced both Cuban society and international relations during the Cold War. So yeah, he was a pain in the ass in America's side. I think the CIA did over 100 assassination attempts, weren't successful at a single one, which is honestly kind of a black spot on the CIA's career. So pros: healthcare and education. Government made substantial improvements in healthcare and education, make them accessible. Yep. Social equality. I mean, that's communism. Yeah, that's pretty much communism. Communism in theory. International influence. Yep. He played his international influence should be number one. It was huge for decades. Economic reforms, implemented land reforms, and nationalized industries to redistribute wealth. So, more communist stuff. Here we go. Yeah, this is the big one. Human rights violations. His regimen was marked by widespread human rights abuses, including suppression of political dissent and prison opponents and lack of freedom of speech and press. Economic mismanagement, exodus of citizens. Yep. Limited political freedom. Yeah. So I mean, he was kind of a dictator. If you like, a lot of Cubans fled to Florida. That's where a lot of America gets the Cuban population, and that's why a lot of Cuban Americans are extremely anti-communist. See, this is what cracks me up. A lot of like Democrats, like Democratic, supporters, think that minorities will want to support communism, and some of them might. But anyone, I would say, China, with either with the Chinese or Cuban background, they're very patriotic and very anti-communist because they had to flee their countries due to the human rights abuses. So I probably should put him at klepto, but he honestly got stuff done. I would probably say got stuff done, but was it good stuff? Um, and also, I kind of like the fact that he was such a thorn in the CIA side. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, we're gonna do got stuff done, but was it good stuff? So I think that's a fair place. Gandhi, oof. All right, here we go. Gandhi. So the thing about Gandhi is there's actually some arguments that say he was the most powerful warrior to ever walk the earth because he was such a pacifist and he stood by it. It was a really interesting video I saw talking about how the most powerful warrior is the one that does not give in at all. But he was kind of a weirdo. Like one of the things he did, this one's probably one of the most famous ones, is he would sleep with like 12 like very very young girls, like 11, 12, 13. He would sleep around them, like not like have intercourse with, but like be around them when he falls asleep because he wanted to test his urges, which is a little weird. Let's see what ChatGPT says about him. What about Gandhi? Also, I think he had some political. He was politically shrewd, if I remember right. Yeah, nonviolent civil. Yeah, that's what he's really important for. He was the ultimate pacifist. And he was good at it too. He did the fasting. The fasting's crazy. He fasted for like 50 days to get the British off India's back, which is wild. Economic policy. Some of Gandhi's economic ideas, such as the emphasis on self-sufficiency and traditional crafts, were seen as impractical. Ooh, so that's going to hold him back because India honestly probably hasn't recovered to the full extent because of that. Rule and partition. His efforts to maintain Hindu-Muslim unity were unsuccessful. All right. Pacifism in extreme situations. Yeah. So this is the counter. Critics argued that a strict adherence to nonviolence was sometimes unrealistic, especially in dealing with aggression. Mm, I'm talking about the ideal. Again, it's going to come back to the power thing. Same with Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela would be over him, and I'll even put Lincoln afterwards. Uh, but yeah, he kind of lacked power in certain situations. And then also the economic implications really probably made India suffer. Again, I wish I knew this. This one looks like oh he's one of the Renaissance guys. I don't know him. All right, so we got Peter the Great of Russia. I know a little bit about him. Fun fact about Peter the Great: he was like 6'7". He was he was massive, and he was probably one of the best leaders of Russia, besides maybe Catherine the Great. All right, now do Peter the Great. Brief summary. Yep, Tsar of Russia from 1682 till 1725. Extensive reforms aimed at modernizing. Yep, Russia was about 100 years behind at the time. Something they still struggle with is being behind with technology. His reign significantly expanded Russian territory and centralized the government's authority. Yep. Yep, and that's when they really came into the European stage. Modernization, expansion, military reform, economic development. He was solid. He was really solid. He was an absolute monarch, often using brutal methods. That was pretty common at the time. I don't blame him. Harsh reforms, frequently implemented using extreme measures. Cultural coercion, and his reign saw significant opposition, which he ruthlessly repressed, leading to internal unrest and resistance. He's going to be up there. I'm going to tell you right now because he was able to accomplish a lot. Hmm. What kind of reforms? So heavy taxation, that would probably hold him back. That one's hard. Forced labor and heavy taxation, but which caused suffering amongst the peasantry. But as long as it wasn't deadly, I don't knock him because for the time that was pretty. What is this? Yeah, all right. Because at the time that was pretty common. Like kings and queens back then were ruthless towards the peasants. Usually, it was the exception when they weren't. And honestly, the ones that weren't oftentimes got overthrown or poisoned. So he's going to go up there, and also he did so much for Russia. Like again, I think he can be argued as as Russia's greatest leader. Hmm. Hmm. But because of the taxation, we're gonna do era of prosperity. He brought a lot. He's honestly me. I'm not gonna put it with Franklin because I love Franklin's probably gonna finish number one with me. Um, but he's up there, man. He's up there a lot. I could put him as the ideal for Russia, like the ideal, the Russian ideal. Stalin kind of corrupted it, but also Stalin, was arguably the most powerful man on earth for a while. But Peter's the real deal. So he would be in between these. I'm gonna rank him the ideal. We'll come back to it. All right, this is gonna be such a long video. All right. I don't have all day. Let's do this. Let's get the snipping tool back. And here we go. All right. Copy. Damn, that's big. Che Guevara. There it is. That's what we needed. Yeah. Ernesto Che Guevara. So that's what I got. Argentine, the Marxist revolutionary, physician, author, guerrilla leader. Yeah, the guerrilla leader is important. Major figure in the Cuban Revolution. Yup. Symbol of rebellion and leftist ideologies worldwide. The Cuban Revolution alongside Fidel Castro. So yeah, he's known as like one of the ultimate revolutionaries, which is kind of gets like mythicized, idealized when really like these are getting controversial methods. He was a very violent guy. Guerrilla warfare, international influence beyond Cuba. It's a leftist movements globally. Yeah, which for me, like I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's huge. Symbol of rebellion. Yep. Failed revolutions. It did fail in a lot of other countries. Yeah, and it created a lot of economic hardships. Anti-imperialism. Yep. Yeah, imperialism took over. It still did. So a lot of it was kind of in vain, to be honest. All right, let's do them. Yeah, we're gonna do more harm than good. Because Castro is Cuba's leader. So just for Cuba alone, we'll say and Castro gossiped, and also how he was like the CIA's. The CIA kind of hated him for it. All right, let's do it again. Can't spend too long on each one. Oh, and I got to do timestamps for this stuff. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, indeed. Copy. God damn, it keeps doing that. Look at that. All right, there we go. So copy it. Go here. Google search. Paste. Lutheran Church. Oh, this is Martin Luther. Okay, I know a little bit of Martin Luther. So I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna do ChatGPT for all of them. Martin Luther is the one that posted the Lutheran letters, I believe. Did it even say? Yeah, pretty much the Protestant Reformation. Um, and yeah, here, do it. I'm gonna be very quick with him though. German. Oh, he's German. I didn't know he was German. Yeah, his 95 thesis, which nailed the door. Criticizing the Catholic Church practices, particularly the sale of indulgences. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go into. His actions led to significant religious, political, and cultural changes. What is Kant's? Honestly, he's not going to be up there too much. Oh, he was anti-Semitic. Yeah, at the time that was pretty common. Yep, it caused division Christianity, which was kind of needed. Intolerance. Luther was intolerant of other reformers' views. So, I mean, he was kind of the founder of it. Yeah, so the main thing he did was again the sale of indulgences. A lot of times what the church would do is be like, "Hey, if you want to be forgiven for your sins, give us this X amount of money and you'll be forgiven." So it was corrupted beyond it was corrupted a lot. So I really respect him for that, but he's not like a god amongst men or anything. We'll put a real politic, real politic. Winston Churchill. Ooh, he's going to be up there. Leadership World War II. If you ever see the movie The Darkest Hour, great movie. Great oratory skills, and honestly, I loved his attitude. He had such a crazy attitude. The Gallipoli campaign, yeah, World War One, it was a huge failure. But like in the Darkest Hour, he explains that if if they didn't give away their position, it might have worked. So I wouldn't put that solely on him. Imperial views, yep. And then there's one here. It is famine and Bengal. Policies and decisions during the Bengal famine have been widely criticized for exacerbating the crisis and causing unnecessary suffering and death. Yeah, I heard about that. There was a couple genocidal things that happened under him, but he's up there. He's going to be up there just for how he handled World War II, even before America came in. Yeah, he's the ideal British. Again, a lot of like the country's main figures are going to be up here. So yeah, I mean, he's the ideal Brit, man. The ideal Brit. I believe this is Henry V. I always forget which number it is, but it's Henry the something. Oh, it keeps doing this. Go here, here, bam, bam, bam. Henry VIII, my bad. Henry VIII. So Henry VIII is like there's an oversimplified video where he's like the when you think of the word keen, he's the guy. But he also killed 5 of his 6 wives or something to have an heir, which he ended up having like 2 heirs, and I think they were both kind of sickly out of all of his kids. But he kind of turned crazy. A lot, a lot of them know he's known as the fat guy, but he was actually really he was known as like very attractive in his youth until he fell off a horse, and the people loved him as far as like the elite goes. But he was corrupt as shit, especially the whole killing the wives thing. And I think Britain, he kind of did some moves under Britain that hurt them in the long run. But again, he had so much power. He had so much power. So we're gonna put him. Kind of wasn't heir of prosperity, but I'll say tried, but fell a little short. He did try a lot, but he fell short. FDR, heir of prosperity. United States owes a lot to him. He got us out of the Depression with the New Deal. He led us into World War II. He did do the Japanese internment camps, but a lot of countries, a few countries did that. And he served 3 terms or 2.5, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna put him at heir of prosperity because the U.S. afterwards, when Britain had to pay back us a lot of debt, we became the number one. We've been the number one economic powerhouse since. So he's not a god. He's not even the ideal, really. Like, yeah, I'm gonna put him here again. Lincoln. I say in the president's video, Lincoln and Washington stand above all the other presidents. So I'm gonna do that here. Lenin. I know a little bit about Lenin. Oh, Vladimir Lenin. I feel like every Vlad I've ever met has been just like a Chad, like a Russian Chad. The Bolshevik Party, October Revolution. Yep, led to the established state of Russia. Hmm. The Red Terror campaign of political repression, executions to eliminate opposition, resulting in significant loss of life. Yep. Civil War. Yep. Let's read the conclusion. Vlad's leadership was instrumental in the Russian Revolution and establishment of the Soviet Union. His theoretical and practical contributions to Marxism and socialism had a profound impact on global politics. However, his authoritative methods, political repression, and severe consequences of the Russian Civil War cast a long shadow over his legacy. He remains a highly controversial figure, admired for his achievements, but criticized for the human cost. He's going to go up there, mainly for what he did for Russia, and also I think he's one of those where, in theory, it was very, very good, and he really believed in it. He had to go in hiding at one point before he came out. Mm. But he also kind of he didn't set Trotsky and Stalin like Stalin would take advantage of his weaknesses, and Trotsky would have to pay for it. Mm. He's not a. I would say he's not as good as Peter the Great, and it wasn't era of prosperity. I would say realpolitik. Yeah, let's do realpolitik. Trotsky. So Trotsky, it's not going to be as. Oh, hello. No. Oh. As the founder and leader of the Red Army, Trotsky was instrumental in securing Bolshevik victory in the Civil War. Exile and assassination. Yeah, after losing the power struggle with Stalin, Trotsky spent the last years in life in exile, where he was eventually assassinated. Yeah, Stalin was good at that. Internal party conflict. While admired by some for his intellectual contributions, yeah, yeah. Again, in theory, again, he was pretty good. Violent and repressive aspects of the early Soviet period. Yeah. Hmm. He was kind of the way Stalin was able to overtake him in the struggle really hurts him a little bit. Oh, that's actually hard. I'm gonna do tried but fell a little short. We got to keep moving. Stalin. I mean, if you don't know about the horror, the atrocities Stalin committed, it was a lot. It was a lot, mainly with the work camps, the gulags, and also Stalin was ruthless in his quest to get power. He was, oh man, he was savage with it, and really, he was Lenin's dog to get that. But he did do it, and for a time, he was the most powerful man on earth because in America, the president has limitations. In the Soviet Union, Stalin was the man. My cat's starting me off, but Stalin was the man. But he did a lot of damage, and he got paranoid near the end. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. I want to be quick with it. We got to keep moving. Industrialization. Yep. Victory in World War II. Yep. He did. He did beat Hitler, and Russia took on really the like a lot of the weight of World War II. America had the industrial. You want to talk about industrialization? America is the king of that, especially in World War II. But Russia was no slouch. And Russia, as far as the blood, and a lot of he was kind of a butcher in World War II. Like there was a lot of unnecessary deaths and there's stories where soldiers would go into battle with no guns and would just have to pick or no ammo and would just have to pick up stuff off dead soldiers because that's how underprepared they were. Human rights abuses, yeah. Forced collectivization, yeah. I heard about that. So much human suffering, though. We're gonna put a real politic. I know that's controversial, but I mean, he was able to accomplish a lot. All right, let's keep it moving. I don't know who this guy is. Whew. We're gonna be here a while, guys. I don't know who this is. Vitaly. What the hell? This is Leonid. Can I? Come on. I'm on. Oh my god. It's not. Yeah, sure. Whatever. There we go. Soviet Union. So after, I believe after Stalin, just gonna read the conclusion. Robert Louis civilian military strength in the Soviet Union, along with the period of detente with the West. However, his era was also marked with significant economic stagnation. Yeah, that screwed over Russia a lot. Suppression of sin and bureaucratic corruption, the costly invasion of Afghanistan. Yep, Soviets first tried that, and America followed. Yeah, he wasn't that good. We're gonna put him low. We're gonna put a buffoon of a leader. Maybe even destroy a nation, but buffoon leader. More harm than good. Oh, yeah, I'll keep him there. Gorbachev, I believe, is this guy. Let's try. What is this, bro? This is hilarious. Come on, Google. Really? All right, fine. I'll do it myself. Yeah. Okay, so I'm right. So I believe he ended the Cold War. He was the last leader of the Soviet Union, so I think he disbanded it. Glasnost, openness. Yep. So that's what he's known for. If you haven't seen the Russian epic rap battles, highly recommend. It's probably one of their best ones. He has some funny lines where it's like, "Shake hands with Ronald and McDonald, no doubt." It's pretty good. Ending the Cold War. Yep. Yep. He kind of allowed democracy to an extent. A lot of it's corrupt still, but yeah. Soviet Union continued to struggle. Some of his policies led to economic disarray, loss of control, dissolution of Soviet Union. Yeah, that kind of screwed over Russia. Coup attempt was hardlined by communist divisions was formed. We're gonna do tried but fell a little short. I think that's a good one. I have no clue who this is. He looks like a villain in like a Bond movie. Bam 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 bam. Come on. Khrushchev, that's right. Do it again for Khrushchev. How do you spell that? Chrus. Here, Man, I wish. There we go. Aha. Man, college kids have it so easy these days. You can just chat GPT everything. Lucky bastards. So this is oh Jesus. Soviet Union, first secretary of Communist Party. We're gonna read the end. De-Stalinization. So I believe that's probably one of his best ones. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, so he was part of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Might be more harm than good. Oh, he was the one for space. Yeah, space program. Hmm. He was bold, man. He was bold, but he kind of failed. We'll do tried but fell a little short. Could almost do realpolitik. We'll do that though. I believe this is Wilson. Yeah. Which Wilson was not that good. Yeah. So a lot of Jim Crow happened under him. I'm not a fan. World One leadership. Clayton. Clayton Antitrust Act. So he curbed corporate power to improve economic fairness, but then he also was heavily racist. We're gonna put him more harm than good. Honestly, yeah, it could be up there. Trump. I'm not gonna do ChatGPT. We're gonna do realpolitik. Uh, we'll do got stuff done, but it was a good stuff. I think it's still relatively new, where we have yet to see everything from it. But I don't say he was more harm than good. I think he did more good than harm. He would be in between these three. Mm, that's hard. That's really hard. Wasn't era of prosperity. That's for damn sure. Out of all these leaders, though, it's going to be hard to put him with like these guys. All right, I'm gonna close my eyes. No, close my. Yeah, we'll do that just for simplicity's sake. This is Mussolini. He was a buffoon. Out of all the buffoon, he might be the number one buffoon. Buffoon of a leader. Horrible World War II. Like his rise to power is actually pretty interesting. He was honestly a pretty good politician in that sense, or I guess he was a good revolutionary in that sense. Um, but as the power, he was not very good. Man, he screwed Hitler multiple times. Hitler was evil, but Hitler was capable, and Mussolini was both evil and incapable during World War II. So easily a buffoon. Honestly, I may put it destroy the nation. He is the ultimate buffoon, especially the memes of him. But honestly, Italy has yet to recover ever. So we're gonna put destroy the nation. Hitler. Ooh. Let me look up kleptocrat one more time. So a thief or exploiter. All right. So this is gonna be all right. This is gonna be controversial. All right. Here we go. Hitler was capable. Hitler is evil. Everything's related to Hitler. Trump is a Hitler. Everyone's a Hitler. But Hitler had a couple things going for him. One, he was arguably the greatest speaker in the world in history. I had my communications teacher in college. He asked the whole class, "Who do y'all think the number one speaker is?" And everyone went around. JFK, Jesus, MLK, and he said, "No, it was Hitler." So he was an extremely good speaker. He's going to be down here for sure. Hmm. Damn. Because I think he's more capable than Mussolini. He's not a buffoon. He did do more harm than good. We might put him number one for more harm than good. But if we're talking about, he was such a tyrant. He's the ultimate tyrant, and I mean, he believed in what he did. He believed in the evil. He did try to fall a little short. Was a little short. Was a lot short. He's gonna be the leader of more harm than good. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. Let's look him up. Oh, it's gonna be a long stream, guys. Philippe Petain. So during World War One, ooh, he led France in World War One. Damn, that is a freaking hard. That's hard, man. And later, as the head of the Vichy government in World War Two, World War One gained national acclaim for his leadership during World War. Yeah, man. Oh my God, the hero of Verdun, dude. Verdun was brutal. Arguably, so World War Two has the numbers and has Stalingrad. Stalingrad is on a whole nother level. But the conditions for World War One, can you imagine warring for like 3 to 6 months and then charging into a field of just hell for like 100 yards, maybe like 300 yards for like barely any land, and he did that for years. It's crazy, man. So he's going to be up there. Military reforms, initial popularity. His early career is marked a widespread thing. Here we go. Cons. During World War II, Petain headed the Vichy government, which collaborated with Nazi Germany. Oof, after France defeated in 40. His regiment implemented repressive policies and actively participated in the persecution of Jews. Yikes. So he did the deportations to concentration camps. Damn, what? How sad to be the hero of World War One and then do that in World War Two. Fuck. So he established an authoritarian state. His collaboration with the Nazis' involvement in war crimes overshadowed his earlier achievements and led to his commendation. Damn, man, I didn't know that. Just look at me learning shit. Wow, man, that's wild. Oh, here we go. That's so sad. Honestly, that's a really sad fall. We're gonna do more harm than good, which is was it more harm than good though? He was led to the deportation of Jews, but he was also the hero of World War One. Oh, that's brutal, man. Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put in more harm than good. That's sad. That's really sad. That kind of depresses me to be the hero of Verdun. To that, I wish that was taught more. It'd be a lesson in character and downfall, I guess. Francisco Franco. Is that who he is? Yeah, Francisco Franco. Spanish military leader. All right. Nationals victored in the Spanish Civil War, which was 1836, 1936, 1939. I'm going to do the conclusion here. Sorry, guys, I haven't heard of him. Here, let me just go through bullet point: military leadership, economic stabilization, preservation of unity. So he kept the unified Spain. It's big. Human rights abuses. Yikes. Suppression of cultures, lack of political freedoms, authoritarians. He was an authoritarian. Censorship. That's a big one. Repression, censorship, and elimination of political oppositions. He's kind of a dictator. Here's the thing with doing this list. I should have said this in the beginning, but a lot of leaders have done a lot of human rights abuses. Like Stalin, for example. Like the thing was, dude, this is a hard list, man. I might have bit off more than I could chew. We still got all of these left, man. I'm gonna be up till damn near 2 in the morning. Let's do it though. Balls to the wall. So a lot of these, like Stalin, for example, realpolitik, and then Hitler down here. That almost sounds like contra- contradiction of each other. But Stalin was strong, man. I mean, he had a lot of strong policies. Don't get me wrong, he was still evil, but compared to Hitler and then this guy, which this is the saddest thing I've learned in a while. All right, let's focus though. So again, a lot of this is going to be mixed. When you talk about morality and historical leaders, that's a slippery slope. So I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can, but um, man, it's going to be a hard list. All right, let's do it. Let me read the recap again. Because the thing is, like, a lot of leaders did human rights abuses. Like even Not Lyndon B. Johnson. Roosevelt, did the Japanese internment camps. Churchill, half of these guys did it. But also they won, which is important. And then two, it was the necessity. So a lot of like human rights abuses, you're gonna have to think about the necessity versus just unnecessary. So keep that in mind. He kept Spain though, just because he was successful. Will do good stuff, but what got stuff done, but was it good stuff? Yeah, I think that's a solid placement. Washington, God among men, easy, easy. Here, honestly, I just want to see what ChatGPT will say. The father of the country. He didn't take a stance on slavery. That might be the only knock against him. I'm gonna keep him a God amongst men. We're gonna revisit that, but I mean Washington, he limited his own power. That's really the thing that he should be remembered for is limiting his own power. Like any man who say they would do like, oh, I would do that if I was in the same position. Bullshit. Can you imagine someone being like, we want you to be king of the new world? We want you. Oh, it'd be hard. It would be hard to turn down. But a lot of the founding fathers didn't want it to. But a lot of people did want him to be king, and he limited it. And also, I mean, he just said he was such a good leader. Like, and again, we're talking about leaders here. He's going to be up there. Honestly, I may put him right there. But again, the now knock on slavery, and I think Benjamin Franklin here. So by the late 1750s and 1760s, he started expressing more critical views. So yeah, Franklin's going to take the lead, but Washington will be right behind him. And again, I'm American, so I know I put unbiased in the title. American's going to be up there a lot, but yeah. TJ, I would either put an era of prosperity. Yeah, as a leader, again, as a man, he wasn't the best man. As a leader, mm, let me go back up to here real quick. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. Actually, I'm gonna put him up here. No, I'm gonna keep him down here. And then TJ, as a leader, as a man, I mean, he was a very honestly, he's a walking contradiction. I might put him right here, just for his about his slavery thing. But as a leader, he was. I would put him as the number 4 president of all time. So yeah, we'll keep him here. Yeah, we'll keep him there. This is the German. He's a German leader. Did I just get an email? Oh Lord, they're gonna be like, "Why are you doing tier list right now? What the hell?" Otto, and I got to respond back to someone. So hold on. He's gonna be up there though. He was a hell of a man. I don't have to respond. I'll talk to her Sunday. Otto von Bismarck was a German statesman who served as the prime minister of Prussia and the first chancellor. I'm gonna keep it as is for now. There we go. Can you say this word? Kulturkampf reduced the influence of the Catholic Church in Germany, led to significant social and political conflict, particularly with the Catholic population. That was a long time coming, though. That happened across the world. That was a long time coming. The Wars of Unification was successful, while significant military aggression. That was necessary, I believe. Legacy of nationalism. Emphasis on a strong, centralized national power laid the groundwork for the extreme nationalism that later contributed to the rise of militarism in Germany. No, he's going to be up there, man. He's going to be up there because this, a lot, if you want to say he set the groundwork for Hitler, I mean, there was the context for Hitler rising to power started like when did this guy die? 1898. Yeah, no, I don't think that's right to connect those two. So he's going to be up there. Hell, we might put him God amongst men. Let me see him again. Honestly, he's a hell of a man, dude. I'm gonna put him God amongst men. Hell of a dude. Hell of a dude. And honestly, out of all of these, I don't see anything that was like crazy. Like I'm not seeing the Holocaust or any like massacres or genocides. Like maybe he did a couple murders, but every leader has to do that to some extent. It sounds like not every leader, but a lot of leaders do. And he had that power that I talked about. I'm feeling lucky. Kaiser Wilhelm. He was the last German emperor. So was it after Bismarck? Yeah, it looks like it was after Bismarck. Oh, abdication. No, Bismarck took him over. It sounds like. No, it was after Bismarck. My bad. My bad. Yeah, 1888. Yeah, that checks out. Dramatic events leading up to during World War One. All right, here we go. I know more about World War Two than World War One. Industrial naval expansion. So the military grew heavily. Cultural patronage. Yeah, patronage art sciences promoting advancement in these fields. Aggressive foreign policy. It's foreign policy military approach to the rise tension of the area ultimately to World War One. The support for the Austro-Hungarian anxiety in Serbia was a key factor. Yes, Serbia was involved in the shooting of the Archduke, so that had a lot to do with that, I bet. Diplomatic isolation. Yep. Ineffective leadership. Oh, here we go. His leadership during World War One was marked by indecision and mismanagement, contributed to the eventual defeat, abdication, exile. So, a lot of people, what a lot of people don't know is there was a vote one time from historians saying what was the most influential moment in history, and I think the winner was the shooting of Archduke Ferdinand because it started not one but two world wars. Remember, World War II was very much a response to World War One and the treatment of Germany afterwards, which was honestly brutal. It was wrong. Honestly, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of him. Hmm. Let me go for it again. He didn't destroy a nation. Was he a buffoon? He wasn't a good leader, man. He was not a good leader. Yeah, we're gonna do buffoon of a leader. He just wasn't good. Yeah. MLK. So there's not a lot of honestly I want to see what let's see what there's not a lot of cons with MLK. Maybe he cheated on his wife. Here we go. Yeah, dude. Controversial opposition, key face, yeah. Look at this. Law enforcement, political figures, even some civil rights activists like yeah, Malcolm X who disagree with his nonviolent approach. FBI, yep. There's a lot of theories that the CIA killed him. Honestly, he's a hell of a man, dude. Hell of a man. I'm probably gonna have to put him in ideal, but I want to put him in God Among Men. But again, is that power factor? But he didn't do anything wrong. Like honestly, like a lot of these guys, like Mandela could be. I'm gonna come back to it. Gandhi's gonna stick with ideal again. Gandhi was kind of a weirdo, and he was pacifist to the point of ineffectiveness sometimes. And these guys, while powerful, but all had cons. Um, but MLK didn't really have. I'm gonna put MLK in God Among Men. Again, I'm American, so I'm probably biased. Nelson Mandela, I might have to move him up. But again, there was a lot of economic problems with Nelson Mandela, so that's hard. Yeah, I'm gonna put in God Among Men, dude. MLK is the man, and even the cons like this controversial opposition, that's bullshit. With the exception of maybe Malcolm X, economic justice focus. I mean, yeah, he was against Vietnam. Good. Targeted surveillance that has nothing to do with him. Yeah, I'm gonna put him God Among Men. This is James Madison. So I got this one. We're gonna do. So he's the father of Constitution. That right there is gonna put him above like a lot of the evil guys. But he wasn't the best president. Like the War of 1812 happened, and they burned our White House. Hmm. 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 I'm gonna put him real politic. I'm gonna put him with Jefferson. Jefferson goes above him. Could be an heir of prosperity. I'm gonna put him up there. Mother Teresa. Let's see what it. Yeah, you want to see how much sexism there is in history? This is the first. This is the first woman. Yeah. Charitable work. Yeah. Missionaries of Charity. Yep. Global influence. Nobel Peace Prize. Yep. So a couple things about Mother Teresa. One, my grandma told me this recently. She actually, near the end of her life, she uh, kind of like took, not went back on her faith, but she said it's more important to do good in the world than it is to be the perfect Christian, which I respect. And then also, let me see, Congress appointed enacted medical care and sanitary conditions in their facilities. So yeah, some of the facilities and people under her care were pretty much abused. Her belief that suffering had spiritual value and her opposition to contraception and abortion have been contentious and criticized. But yeah, I mean, she was Christian. A lot of Christians are against abortion, of course. Financial transparency. There have been criticisms regarding the lack of financial accountability in the handling of donations. Yep. I mean, a lot of charity work is corrupt. Political associations. All right, here's the read this thing again. I mean, she was just. I mean, I think she got sainted, or she should maybe she got close to it. She's up there, man. She's up there. I want to put ideal. I think that's a good place for her to be. The ideal. She had some cons, but I think she had a good heart for the most part. Napoleon, yo, oh man, we're talking about leaders. Let's see. Yo, this one's gonna be crazy. All right, I mean, he's the ultimate general. He's in the top three generals of all time. Maybe Hannibal, him. He's probably one or two, man. He's probably one or two. Authoritarian role, but man, he was good at it. Wars, exile, and downfall. In fact, yo, now he's got him. I mean, I'm gonna say it right now. However, his authoritarian role, aggressive expansion, and the result of electoral war brought immense suffering and instabilities. Remains highly influential and debated figures who symbolize both the heights and ambition, consequences, overreach. Yeah, I mean, up there with Caesar, he is. He's up there. Yeah, guys. I'm sorry, Napoleon, especially just for his military genius, is his military genius is wild. Yeah, I'm putting it up there. Hell, I'm gonna rank him. He might be one. Franklin's my one. Franklin's my guy. But we'll put Napoleon number two. Even above, I'm gonna put him above Washington. Yeah. Hell, I'm gonna put a few people above Washington. To be honest, Washington, a little slavery thing. Yeah, dude. Bismarck was the man. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that for now. All right. Let's can we zoom in now? Let's. Sorry guys, I gotta find out who this is. Joseph Goebbels. German politician in close association to Adolf Hitler. Yikes. All right. He served as a Reich Minister of Propaganda. Oh, bro, propaganda. That's not good. Yeah, this dude's going to go down the bottom. So, yeah, he was capable, I guess. Yeah, no, this dude's going to be at the bottom. Because Hitler was capable, but Hitler, Hitler wasn't the worst in his cabinet, actually. There's a few other people that were way worse. Yeah, so this dude's a master of evil propaganda. We're gonna put him right there. Hell, one of these two. I'm gonna put him right there. I can't help it. Herman Goring, so again, this is a lot of these Nazi ones are gonna be near the low. Honestly, I put some of the other people below Hitler in his cabinet for sure. Like these three. Like let me see. There's one of them near here. Oh my god, I want to be up all night. Well, shit, I could. I deserve a honorary history masters after this. Oh, what was his specialty? So he was part of the Nazi Party. He planned the Holocaust. Yeah, he's at the bottom. That's all I need to see. All right, Karl Donitz, naval officer. All right, it's naval operations. German U-boats. So the German U-boats were actually crazy effective. Wolfpack. Yep. He was loyal. He was loyal to the wrong guy, unfortunately. Yeah. So, hmm, he's going to be near the bottom again for the Hitler stuff. I want to put him got stuff done, but was it good stuff? Well, it wasn't good stuff, but see, this is where it gets hard. Like these two, this is going to be the hardest tiers for me, for sure. I don't feel right putting Trump with these guys. I can't. I mean, this is fucking Castro over here and Hitler. I want to put Trump over here. It could be one of these. He was effective, though. I want to say got stuff done just because he was effective. I think that's fair placement. Arthur Seyss-Inquart. Jesus. Good news about ChatGPT is you don't need to really worry about a spell check. Austrian Nazi politician lawyer played a significant role in the annexation of Austria by Nazi Germany. Yeah, again, this is gonna be one of the Holocaust guys. Holocaust. That's all I need to see. We're gonna put him down here. Again, a lot of the Holocaust guys are going here. This guy is only up here because of the U-boats. Napoleon III. So Napoleon's grandson, I guess. Oh, the nephew of Napoleon Bonaparte. So industrial and economic modernization. It's good. We like that. Modernization of Paris, railways. This guy's pretty good. Urban development. Most famous project was the renovation of Paris. Wow. Foreign policy success. It's really good. He seized power in a coup d'état, dissolved the National Assembly, established an authority. Yeah, again, that was pretty common for the time, in Europe especially. And if he was able to do it and then do good afterwards, I'm okay with it to an extent. Hmm. Ooh, Franco-Prussian War. Yeah, and he was and then he was captured. Oh God. Uh, censorship. I hate censorship. Damn. Yeah. So his defeat's gonna put him down. So it sounds like he was good with everything but war. He was good at a coup. A coup, I wouldn't even say a con. Let's see here. I'm but tried but fell short. And I'm gonna move up Trump again. I don't feel right putting Trump with like Leon Trotsky. But kind of. We'll keep him there. But yeah, tried but fell a little short because the stuff he did, like with Paris and everything, was pretty good. But he failed. He failed at the end of the day. But I mean, he's not down here. Maybe a buffoon actually. Let me see. Nah, he wasn't a buffoon. He just lost. All right, let's keep moving. Julius Caesar. All right, here we go. The dictator. Yeah, brilliant military. Expanded Rome, the peak of Roman, one of the peaks of Roman power. Dictator for life. Undermine the Republican system. Yep, it was a big issue, man. Popular support, political reforms. His crossing of the Rubicon led to a civil war. Yep, the crossing of the Rubicon. It just sounds so cool. Crossing of the Rubicon. His assassination is legendary. Yep. Extraordinary military and political achievements with significant controversy. Hmm. This is gonna be near the top. It's gonna be near the top. I think he's the ideal. Let me zoom out a little bit. He's the ideal Roman. I'm not gonna put him God amongst men though, mainly because of his assassination. Oh, I don't know. If I put Napoleon up there, I kind of got to put Caesar up there. I like Napoleon more than him. Yeah, yeah, that's hard. Okay, I'm gonna put him ideal for one reason only, and that's going to be the dictatorship. Even though he is known as the ultimate dictator, it kind of the dictator beforehand was for 6 months and like 6 months to 2 years, I think. And so the whole dictator for life kind of, even though in the short term it was like really popular and it kind of cemented him as a legend, I think long term it wasn't good. So I'm gonna put him ideal. Yeah. Again, and also I just like Napoleon better. We're gonna put him ideal. Or an era of prosperity. Shit, we could do that. Ooh, Caesar's hard. But there was a civil war. Damn. Oh, Caesar's hard. It's gonna be. It might be the hardest pick of the whole entire damn thing. It's gonna be a long night, guys. It's gonna be a long night indeed. I want to put number one for the ideal. I'll come back to him. Caesar Augustus the First. Octavian. Okay, that's his real name. Gotcha. I'm just gonna read this for him. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a little tired. Caesar reigned marked the beginning of the Roman Empire and brought significant benefits, including political stability, economic prosperity, and cultural achievements. He did good. He did really good. I mean, Caesar left him with a lot of power. It ended the Roman Republic and set the stage for further future challenges in imperial succession. So he created a monarchy, though. Was it good for the country at the time? Period of peace and prosperity. That's all I needed to see. There you go, guys. We're gonna put number one though. Number one, peace and prosperity. Caesar Tiberius the First. I don't know a ton about Roman history, so I'm gonna be limited here. So he succeeded Augustus. Financially good, relative stability, military successes. Let's look at the cons. Autocratic ruler. Became more autocratic, undermining the balance between emperor and the Senate. Withdraw from Rome. Paranoia. There we go. Happens a lot with leaders. Generally unpopular. Hmm. And he left a complicated legacy as a ruler who maintained, but also strained from the structures established by his predecessors. Yeah, we'll put him here. Got stuff done, but was it good stuff? It sounded like it was good stuff. He just got paranoid at the end. Yeah, we'll do fell a little short. Emperor Nero. Yeah, this one's gonna go lie. Let's see if ChatGPT picks up. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Brutal suppression. That's what you need to know, as well as the Great Fire of Rome. I don't know much about the Great Fire. Yeah, he was artistic. That's a nice way to put it. Popular among lower classes. Yeah, mainly because of his the gladiator games and relief efforts after the Great Fire. Grisly, despotic, as cruelty, including the executions of his mother. Yeah, he executed his mother and his wife. I think if you were caught cheating, he would make you bleed to death in a bathtub and then make your like some of your kids or something like lay in it. It was brutal. Hmm. He was a psycho though. Oh, ended in revolt and forced suicide. It marked a tumultuous time in Roman history. Yeah, unchecked imperial power and personal excess. Cautionary tale of how leadership can deteriorate from early promise to tyranny and chaos. Definitely more harm than good. He's going to go here at least. Hmm. He probably led to the decay in a lot of ways, though. Yeah, we're going to put it right there. Because the main thing here is the marking a tumultuous time that highlighted the dangers of unchecked power. Did they recover, though? If they recovered, I would put them in a buffoon of a leader. But I think that was the beginning of the end. Damn, there's four more Roman leaders. Jesus. Jesus, indeed. Uh, I'm not gonna put him with the Nazi guys. Yeah, we'll do destroy the nation. No, it's complicated because it sounds like he wasn't absolutely trash. He would be in between here. We'll keep him here. Destroy the nation. Oh, or buffoon of a leader because he didn't really destroy it. It sounds like it was just well, he did burn it. Here, we're gonna ask. We're gonna let ChatGPT. Would you describe him as a buffoon of a leader or destroyed the nation? You can only pick one. Uh, uh, Oh wow. Given the options, I would describe him as sort of nation. While he exhibited some buffoonish behavior, his actions had severe and destructive impact on Rome, probably leading to significant political and social turmoil. All right, you heard it, boys. Boom. Constantine the Great. Here we go. Yeah, he's going to be up there. He's going to be a god amongst men, probably. Constantine the Great, also known as Constantine the First, Roman emperor who ruled between 306 337, is best known for being the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity and founded the city of Constantinople. Christianity promotion, yeah, he's like the pinnacle of Christianity. Foundation of Constantinople, yep. Modern day Istanbul, yeah, center of trade, culture, and governance. Military success, dude. He was good. He's going to be up there. So he, even though he was so Christian, he did, he kind of used violence against non-Christians. Ew, man, this Jocko protein is hit and miss. The last one I had was good. This one's kind of bad. Ugh, I keep getting weird stuff. His establishment of dynastic succession led to internal strife and power struggles among his descendants. All right, Constantine the Great's reign was transformative, marked by its the foundation of Constantinople, and of the administrative and economic rulers, the military suppressed the Roman Empire. However, his autocratic rule. So there was government issues afterwards, which these all kind of didn't have. I'm gonna put him as the ideal, and actually, I'm gonna put him above Caesar. Yeah, I'll come back to that. I gotta go to bed. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. To all my 0 viewers. Wild, man. Well, I hope the video gets views. All right, let's keep it going. So yeah, I put Con- Constantine over Caesar because Constantine wasn't assassinated, and again, Caesar as a dictator, he ended up kind of ruining the Republic in some ways. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do another part to this, man. The pre-workout's wearing off, and I am exhausted. So we'll call this part one. I'll save this. I'll even put up a little snapshot. I'll rank this. I'll rank what I have so far. Yeah, I'll rank what I have so far because honestly, I could use a good night's sleep. All right, here we go. So Franklin, we'll do bottom top. All these guys are hit, like uh, genocide, Holocaust guys, mainly the Holocaust. And again, Hitler, even though Hitler is known as like the evil dictator he should be known as, he was capable, powerful, and yeah, I mean, he wasn't a buffoon, that's for sure. So we're gonna keep him here. But all these three guys are the ones that pushed for, pretty much the Holocaust. And then this guy was a master propagandist. So I'm not even gonna rank these guys. Out of these two, we got God, I can barely see. Oh my God. Oh no, and Emperor Nero was ChatGPT to put him over here. So we got Emperor Nero, Mussolini. Yeah, I'm gonna put Mussolini right here. I guess he didn't destroy the nations. Well, he's never gonna be the number one buffoon. But well, I guess Italy and Rome is still, well, Rome isn't there. It's called Italy now. Here, we'll ask. Here, hold on a second. Yeah, so he put destroy the nation too. Yeah, so we'll keep him here. Commodus, I forgot already, so we'll do that. Out of these two, honestly, I'll put Mussolini as far as the worst one. So yeah, we'll keep it that way. Out of these two, this dude was just ineffective. Um, I forgot his name. We'll keep him there. I forgot their names already, but I thought that was a good placement because they had some successes, but for the most part, were just bad leaders. So these four, here we go. Hmm. He's going to be the ultimate more harm than good. I stand by that. That's going to go for the whole entire list. He's going to be right there, guarantee it. This is the saddest story. This is the saddest history I've learned in a while. To be the hero of World War I, and then joining and then supporting Hitler and the Nazis of World War II. Oh, that's bad, man. It's really bad. Oh, I'm gonna move him up. No, he did more harm than good. More harm than good. And then Wilson, I'll keep last. Yeah, actually, shit. I might put him over here because at least he was effective. Wilson wasn't very effective, and these two, I mean, he's gonna stay there, and this is just sad. Even though he was a Nazi, his skill in naval with the U-boats was admirable and respected. But I mean, he was very, very loyal, unfortunately, to the wrong side. This guy, even though there was a lot of human rights abuses under him, he did keep Spain. Um, he did keep Spain united. So I'm gonna keep him there. Castro, I mean, Castro got stuff done. It just wasn't good stuff, and I just like this. He could be more harm than good. Shit. Uh, let's ask ChatGPT. Let's ChatGPT. Yeah. So ChatGPT agrees with me. Gossip Dumbo was a good stuff. Good. That's actually pretty impressive. Um, Castro implemented significant social and economic reforms in Cuba, including advancement in healthcare and education. However, his authoritarian rule, human rights abuses, and the economic hardships faced by many Cubans, complex legacy that is debated regarding its overall benefit. Yeah, so we'll keep him there. I'm gonna keep these three as is. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna keep it as is. All right, here we go. Here we go. I forgot who he is. He's gonna stay out here. Napoleon III. We'll keep there. All these will keep there. Trotsky. Yep. Yep. James Madison. TJ. Stalin. Stalin's controversial, but again, he was just so damn powerful and he won. That's the important part. He won. Um, so yeah, Lenin. Keep there too. It was not prosperity. And then Martin Luther will keep there. Martin Luther, I mean, he wasn't bad, but I'm not gonna put him up here as far as power. He wasn't very powerful. FDR, prosperity, JFK, prosperity, assassinated, died in office. Right? Right? I think he did. Yeah, I see he died in office. Oh, during his fourth term. He served 4 terms? Goddamn. Shit. That's wild. That's I thought it was just 3. 4. Yeah. I'm keeping him there. JFK, I'm gonna put FDR over JFK because he was just an exceptional leader. JFK, we didn't get to see the full thing. Caesar Augustus, I'll keep right here. All right, here we go. Here we go. The hard parts. Let me zoom in for this. Ranking these. Hmm. Yeah, I'll keep Constantinople there. Julius Caesar there. Gandhi, I'm gonna put back. Actually, I think Gandhi was a little ineffective in some ways. Mother Teresa was more ideal. She wasn't extremely powerful. But again, I mean, she's definitely the ideal. Hell, I'm gonna put Gandhi last actually, even though Gandhi is the ideal pacifist. Again, I think a lot of his ineffectiveness hurt India. Um, so I'll keep him there. Peter the Great's gonna go up near here. Lincoln, oh, Lincoln's hard too. Damn, these are hard, man. Hmm. I'm dozing off right now. I mean, that pre-workout, it comes fast and goes fast. Shit. All right, let's do it. Hold on, let me. All right. Constantine the Great, Julius Caesar, Peter the Great, Nelson Mandela, Lincoln, Churchill. We'll come back to it. This is going to be a hard tier. God amongst men. Here we go. Franklin. I love Franklin. Dude, Napoleon is such a beast, though. I'm going to put Napoleon number one. Yeah, Napoleon is the ultimate dictator, but not in like he didn't. So with like a lot of dictators and like really powerful people who become emperors, my bad, not dictator, emperors. Um, they come from like noble families, while Napoleon came from like a peasant family. And one of the most ballsy things he did was crown himself. Instead of letting someone else crown him, he took that shit. He said, "Give me that," and he said, "I'm the emperor," which I think is, if you see the oversimplified in the Napoleonic Wars, it's great. All right, let's rank these then. So Napoleon here. Honestly, I'm gonna put Bismarck too. Bismarck's a beast. Franklin 3, because again, he was kind of uh, he was against slavery earlier than Washington. I'll put MLK for MLK. Wow, again, it was kind of the peace things of here. He didn't really have any faults. Even ChatGPT struggled finding cons with him. Um, like the thing with Nelson Mandela. Like, let me go back to Nelson Mandela real quick. He was hard. Yeah, here we go. Not JFK. Yeah. Despite progress, Mandela's administration struggled to overcome the massive disparities in health and education systems caused by apartheid. Yeah, I don't blame him for that. I mean, that's a huge hurdle to overcome. Oh, he did do. He was violent in the beginning. My bad. Wow. I thought he was like a pacifist. I kind of respect him a little bit more for that, to be honest. I like the idea of pacifism, but sometimes you just got to use some force. Just got to use some force. Well, let me go back to the economic though. It's hard though, because with Nelson Mandela, it's like what was in his control and what wasn't. But due to the fact that he didn't, shit, dude, this is gonna be so hard. This tier is gonna be the hardest for me. Him specifically is very hard. I'll put Lincoln over Churchill. I'll put him over these two just because of the power factor. Nelson Mandela, man, the thing is he did use power in the beginning. Hmm. ChatGPT has a hard time even saying anything bad in the end. I'm gonna put him. Okay, this is fucked up, but here we go. Because of where South Africa is currently, and just Africa in general, they're not like one of the biggest powers on earth. And so for that alone, I'm gonna knock him back a little bit. And that's fucked because a lot of that's out of his control. But if we're talking about the overwhelming like lasting legacy, doesn't hold up. So I'm gonna keep him right here actually. Hell, I'm gonna put Lincoln. I'm gonna put him right here. I'm gonna keep him right here actually. Again, it's messed up, but even though he succeeded, if you look at Africa and South Africa currently, they're not on the world stage as far as like a power. See, I'll put him right here. Here we go. And then so these I'm pretty okay with. These three I'm gonna struggle with. All right, here we go. Well, let me take a drink of water for these. Also, Gandhi's back here because due to the weird, creepy behavior he did in order to test his chakra or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of weird. Let me look up Peter the Great again. Caesar is known as the dictator, but Constantine was honestly probably greater. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it as is. Yep, I'm gonna keep it as is. Shit, I might put Caesar actually right here because I think if you look at the last, well, at the same time, the fall of Rome wasn't technically Caesar's fault, but the whole dictator thing kind of is bad. I'm gonna keep it right here for now. We'll come back to this, but yeah, this is gonna be my final list for part one. This is gonna have to be a multi-part series. I was thinking I could do it all in one night, but with my breakdown using Chat GPT for pros and cons, it's shit. There might be how many did I do? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 45, and then we got 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's my calculator at? So we got 21 times 5 minus 1. Yes, this will have to be a three-part at least. But yeah, this is my list for part one. Just kind of just go through it again. Actually, I don't need to. I explained them pretty well. Yeah. So take a gander. Let me know what you think in the comments and everything. I want to put it in the chat. Uh, cheers, boys. Cheers. I'll just do cheers. Um, sorry for not doing it all at once. That pre-workout was heavy, but also my body and mind are exhausted. It's been a long week. So cheers. I hope you liked part one to this. It's a lot of work. Who knows? Maybe I'll get like an honorary history degree from like like a master's degree or something after this. This is wild. This is a lot. Let's see how many females we got left. So we got all right. So we started with the queens. One, two. Catherine. There's Catherine. I know a little bit about Catherine. One, two. We haven't got to any Asians yet either, like Asian history really, except this guy who again I know he was more. I think he was something else. Yeah, so we got a few women back. We got a few queens. We got non-queens. We got a princess, Diana. I saw Princess Diana earlier. Yeah, here she is. Who's this fucker? This dude looks like a mess. Hold on, that dude looks rough. Where'd it go? Where'd he go? Oh, here it is. Oh, a French dude. Dude, he looks brutal. They did not. They did him dirty in that. But yeah, this is gonna be the final list. I'll see y'all next time. This is these history ones take a lot out of me. Like the Naruto ones and like I was thinking about doing fast food or something. The colors, those are fun. These history ones, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I hope y'all have a good weekend.